Hey guys, so a really confusing question is part two of your CELPIP speaking because this is where people always run out of time. They're not sure how many points they're supposed to say because it's 1 minute, okay? Out of the 1 minute, you have about 15 seconds of intro and conclusion, and the pauses you would have, you barely have 45 seconds to finish the actual answer. And it's really confusing how many points you should make, what is too much, what is too little. So we're going to discuss today with the help of some examples. I'll show you how you can have the best quality and the best quantity of answers for this type of question. Okay, this type of question is where you are asked to define anything. It could be talk about your favorite possession, like your favorite thing that you own, favorite friend, vacation, historical place, talk about your office meeting you had or a confrontation you had. It's anything, okay? So you have to talk about one of these things within a minute. Now, there's a template for this. There's a template for every answer that you can follow. You can check it out on our YouTube channel, HZad Education templates, type that out, or you can go to our blog on our website. Link for that is always in the description. So you will check out the templates there. Now, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to tell you that you should make 2 to 3 points only for each question. We did a video on quality versus quantity where I explained this in detail. It's way better for you to do just 2 to 3 points on this question for whatever you are talking about versus you making 10, 12 points. The difference or the reason behind this is quality is always better than quantity. That's one thing. And here, when you explain 2 to 3 points, you will give details about them, you will give examples about them, and you will describe them with the use of adjectives and adverbs, which is going to give it, I should say, a range of vocabulary. If you do 10 points on something, you just start making small sentences which do not describe it or give it a range of vocab. Let's do an example. So let's say the question is, talk about your favorite possession. And you talk about it. You say, my favorite possession was my car. It was a Honda Civic. It had a lot of mileage. It was blue color. It had snow tires, so really good for winters, and so on. So what you're doing is, it was this, and even if you don't do it, you would just have, one sentence blue car, one sentence mileage, and so on. Now, I'm going to do my answer here with just 2 to 3 points, and I'll do my 1 minute, so you might see me looking up, and I'm going to be looking at my clock. And I'm going to just explain 2 to 3 points in detail in a minute with good descriptions, good examples, and you'll see how much more quality I will have in that answer. So let's get started. One of my favorite possessions was my car. It was a Honda Civic. It was the model 2013. This car was an amazingly reliable car. The reason is it survived in -40 weather. It even survived in +45. Yes, I live in a crazy place where weather fluctuates a lot. However, this car survived not only in those drastic conditions or extreme temperatures, it survived in rainy, snowy, and icy conditions, which I give it a lot of credit for. Moreover, this car was very cheap in terms of maintenance, as well as in terms of the actual purchase price. I did not have to pay surcharges or anything when I bought it from the dealership, which is a testament to cars manufactured in Japan. Therefore, I am very pleased with this car. I'll always have great memories of it. I don't know, I think Honda is Japan. I hope I'm right there, but anyway. So you can see the 2 points that I just mentioned were the reliability, and the other point was the cost. It didn't cost me a lot. Throughout my explanation, I was able to use a ton of adjectives. I used some adverbs too. I don't know which ones, but there were a few lees, and you want to try lees, like quickly, slowly, and stuff. I had at least one that I remember, maybe 2. Adjectives were, it was great, it was reliable, it was inexpensive, etc., right? All the descriptions that I was able to give in just 2 points. So it first of all gave me a chance to describe it, which is going to give me marks for my range of vocab. It also helps me relax because I know I don't have much to do. When people start doing 10 points per question here, like in part 2, they also start running out of breath because they're watching the time and they're nervous. When they rush, they lose marks on tone. So tone marks are important too. Tone and emphasis and style and quality. This is going to be there when you are pausing in between sentences. when you're relaxed and you show the examiner that you're in control. I was even laughing a little bit there, right? When I made a little funny point. I don't know which one it was. So that shows you're completely in control and you're confident about your answer, and you're speaking naturally. I also give examples. That was IC minus 40. It's not plus 45 where I live. It's usually minus. Okay, but I was just giving examples just for the sake of it. So it goes on to describe each point in a lot of detail with great quality. Let's try another example. Let's talk about your favorite vacation. Okay, so I'll try to do 3 points this time, and I will never try more than three because it's impossible to do good quality points within a minute if it's four or more. So I'll keep it limited to three. All right, so let's start. I've been to many great spots in my life, luckily, but the one that I am really fond of was my trip to Greece. Specifically, it was in Santorini. Santorini is a beautiful island situated in the middle of nowhere. Literally, there are no major cities around it. It is just surrounded by water, hence why it's an island, but it's at a very scenic spot. Moreover, people in Santorini are amazing. They are friendly, accommodating, and will always be there to answer any queries you have, which is quite needed for the tourists, and I'm thankful that we have those kind of people there. Finally, I think it's welcome news for everybody that Santorini is very cheap. Despite being a hot tourist attraction, the prices are unbelievably low, and people can survive on daily meals for less than 10 euros, which is unbelievable. I love my memories of Santorini. Okay, 3 points there in about 59 seconds, I would say. I got the cost point, the location point. It's in between the water. It's surrounded by water, and I described that in more detail, how it's scenic and stuff. Talked about the people. Okay, so you can see here my approach was doing points a little bit faster, but again, it didn't sound rushed. I also use pauses between my sentences to show the examiner I'm in control, I'm relaxed, and actually it helps me to relax because if you don't pause, you will not have the chance to breathe, right? So it affects fluency. If you don't breathe, it affects fluency. People think if you keep talking, it's going to give you marks for fluency. It's the opposite. If you keep talking, you will run out of breath, you will stutter, and you will not be clear, and you will lose marks for fluency. Okay, I had lots of adjectives there, described how the people were, how the costs were, and the location itself was scenic, and how it was located in between water, and so on. So this is also another strategy for you guys. Talk about real points or real experiences, because this was a real experience for me. It'll help it sound more natural, and you will naturally have emphasis and style and tone, which will help you on top of doing limited points. So the whole lesson today is to make sure that when you go into part 2 of your CELPIP speaking, do limited points. 2 to 3 are enough. Make it good quality points, not quantity points. I hope you learned some valuable insights today. And if you did, please subscribe, like, and share, and we'll talk soon. Take care.